Hey up YouTube, today we have a triple unboxing of the AKK VTXs. Now anybody who's been paying close attention to this channel for a while knows I've been flying these Nanos pretty much exclusively in everything. However recently I've desired a little bit more. These Nanos are effectively just the video transmitter from the all-in-one camera VTXs that we see everywhere, but they're super small and you can stick them just about anywhere. They vary from model to model, but you're going to get 25 to 200 milliwatts, switchable and various other features. This particular one is fairly bare bones, and you don't get smart audio, but it does support pit mode, which is supposedly 0.01 milliwatts. Great little VTX, and I haven't managed to burn one out yet, unlike some of the other brands that I've had. I have broken a couple from smashing them upon stuff, but each and every single one I've managed to solder the little UFL IPX connector back on. The one that's in here, I couldn't do that because I ripped some tracks off, but I still managed to solder it back in, and so I soldered an antenna back in there and it's in use again. So I'm still to kill one, which in a year is the first time ever. Normally VTXs go first and ESC's close behind. So the first one I want to talk about today is the upgrade. This is the Nano V3. Same as the previous versions, however, we have two little strategically placed screw holes so we can piggyback this on the back of a runcam camera, any micro camera. This is 25 and 200 milliwatts switchable and also supports pit mode. We've got 40 channels essentially on this, however 3 channels, 5645, 5925 and 5945 aren't allowed anymore due to FCC regulations, so this is effectively a 37 channel. On this one, however, we've got smart audio, so you can wire this up so you can control your runcam camera OSD, or you can just change your VTX power from your transmitter. So it's fully raceband compliant and you get 300 milliamps out at 5 volts to power any cameras. And this one does have our UFL or IPX connector. Those are just interchangeable. I think most people tend to call it a UFL connector, but it's also listed on the AKK site as an IPX connector. So I'm going to use UFL and IPX interchangeably. So that's a Nano 3. Now the Nanos are awesome, but they're a little tricky to read out exactly what frequency you're on or what channel you're on. And with a bunch of other people and you're changing a lot, it can be, well, you need the manual or you need to have done it a lot and memorize them, neither of which I tend to do. And this is the AKK V5, or I should say Nano A5. This is a 16 by 16 mil mounting holes, so you can put it in a lot of places still, but we've got an actual number readout on this one, so it's an instant readout. It's super easy to see what's going on, and I've used this one a lot. This is one of the ones that I thought I'd killed, but I didn't. It was just the UFL connector that came off, so I've reflowed another one on, and this is good to go. So I've really enjoyed this one, but I've been wanting a little bit more than 200 milliwatts in some of the places we've been flying. So this one's a little bit more fully featured. We've got a switchable, which is pit mode 25, 50, 100 and 200. And it's also got a step up from 1S to 5 volts. This, at first I was a little confused at, why didn't they just give it a wider input range? But it's actually more efficient. The Nanos normally run at about 340, 350 milliamps. If you're running this one off 5 volts, this is going to be 200 milliamps or 220 milliamps, which is, it's quite a bit really when you're talking about 1S, 2S and 3S tiny batteries. This is another one that did have 40 channels, but now you're down to 37, and of course smart audio as well. Cracking little VTX. But that's not what this video is about. Unboxing number 2 is the one I'm most excited about. This is a 20 by 20 stackable VTX. Again, this is switchable and supports pit mode, but we've also got 25, 200, 400 milliwatts and 600 milliwatts. This is the first switchable VTX by 20 by 20 that I've seen that supports 600 milliwatts. Now besides the massive 600 milliwatts that we've got to play with here, you've also got smart audio and a mic on the back there, so best of both worlds. This also has a really wide input range of 7 to 24 volts. It doesn't have a large LED readout, which is a little disappointing, but they've kept it slim for a stackable profile. The difference here between the Nanos is the blue and red LEDs that you get, much easier to read at just a glance. You don't have to have a manual with you, it's laid out a lot easier. Now the last thing about this one is we have a UFL connector on the top there and an MMCX connector there. So this means you can use just about any antenna with this one, and it comes with a little pigtail. These are quite stiff. There you go, press fit in there. So you can basically bring out a pigtail to wherever you like. The options for antennas on this are superb, so we've got 600 milliwatts to play with and just about every feature you could possibly want on a VTX. So this will be going inside my jet along with a nice helical antenna, and we'll see what kind of ranges I can get now. The third one we'll be unboxing today, and all of these are going to go in builds really soon, so I'll have dedicated videos on them, is the FX2. This is a 30 by 30 mounting hole, so a pretty standard traditional 5-inch quad setup. But we've got a dedicated LC filter for nice clean video, and that lovely easy readout. Of course, you've got a mic on board and smart audio for OSD and camera control, and we've also got a breakout cable with a pigtail that comes with it. That's actually fitted to a quad, so I've just got it fitted to a little linear antenna at the moment, of which AK do some little 3 bags. And for some reason, the AK linear antennas seem a lot better than others I've been using. I can't really explain that, but they must be just dead on regarding measurements. This is just one from a whole range of stackables, but on this one, the FX2, we have switchable from pit mode 25, 200, 500 and 800 milliwatts, which is apparently going to get me up to 5 kilometers. I don't need anything like that, but if I can get behind 6 or 7 brick walls, it would really open where I can fly. Now this one's only up to 800 milliwatts, but the other one's the FX Infinite. That actually has a DVR in it, and then the FX Ultimate goes right up to 1200 milliwatts. Apparently there's some US restrictions that will limit those models to 800 milliwatts if you're over there, but everyone else can get a 1.2 watt video transmitter. That's just insane. For those, you'll probably want a heatsink. I'm going to try it without on this one first, but I see me adding a heatsink to this if I'm going to be running at 800 milliwatts. If you're running at anything above 800 milliwatts, I really don't even think about it. Put one of these on you. Now, as I said earlier, all of these are going in builds really soon, so I just wanted to do a quick roundup before that happens. But AKK VTX sent me the FX2 for review, and all the nanos and the other variants are just what I've been accumulating over the last year or so. I absolutely love them, and I can't recommend them enough. So I'll leave a link in the description below, and I think we've got 32 or 34 video transmitters to pick from AKK VTX yet. So if you can't find one that suits you, I'd be very surprised. And if you can find another brand that's as cheap, let me know. The last thing I want to mention quickly is the AKK VTX antennas. These are pretty good. Not the most durable antennas in the world if you crash a lot. However, the new Pagodas are something that I haven't tried yet. I've seen a lot of people like them, and apparently they've got slightly better coverage, so we're going to be doing a compare between these two. So that's all for this one. I'll see you in the next.